year's 2011. My guest here today was the king of the 140-pound weight class. If you would, introduce yourself.
I'm Zach Salyers.
Zach Salyers, KHSAA state wrestling champion from Johnson Central. Like I said, class of 2011. Zach, before we get into your bracket and all that, how does a young Zach Salyers find wrestling?
I guess I was in probably 4th grade. His name's Drew Trimble. He was a friend of the family, still is. My grandmother actually babysitted him and his older brother, and they became family to us, and Drew got me really involved and stuck with me a few years and got me to enjoy it, and really got my start.
Yeah, Drew, two-time All-Stater, like 119, 112 pounds, somewhere in that range. Dad, of course, Steve Trimble was the coach here for a couple years and principal, so you had a good foundation. But I'm telling you off camera, I think I remember the first time you come up to the landing when the practice used to be held on the landing. Either we were setting up, because I was refereeing, of course, and I'm not sure if we were setting up for a meet or something to that effect. And I remember you coming up there, and I was like, man, I could just see the excitement, the glow of you being up there. I was like, man, this guy's going to do something. You wrestled all through elementary, all through middle school, all through high school. You were on some great teams, had some really great teammates, state champion Ryan Harlow, JJ. I think you and JJ Jew were practice partners from the time you...
for almost 9 years. Yeah.
For 9 years, and JJ's a 2-time state champion. For those of you wondering, we are going to be getting with JJ and doing his videos. We've already got up with him, and he, of course, is going to do it. But if you don't know, as of this filming, his wife is expecting, and you know how things are when a baby's about ready to come along. Before we get to 2011, 2010, you make it to the finals. You come up a little bit short, but you're there, and you gain some valuable experiences. Kind of walk us through that 2010 season, or what you can remember of it.
I came up really short in the finals, actually.
Well,
that guy, he was a great wrestler.
He was really good wrestler.
From Union County, which the school has a great program. Caleb Irvin was his name. Yep. I think he actually went on and wrestled at Illinois, if I'm not mistaken. But no, he was a phenomenal wrestler. He beat me pretty good there in the finals. I think it ended up being a major decision. And even though it was a major decision, it's still a little bit closer than what I thought it was going to be, which I was just happy to be there. Because I had actually never even placed at the state tournament up until that time. Came really close my 8th grade year, and then had knee surgery freshman year, sophomore year, so I never actually got to finish either one of those years.
I remember that 8th grade year. I think that was 06, 07, something to that effect, because I remember I actually wrecked coming from Eastern Kentucky, going when it was at Frankfort. There on the Mountain Parkway, you're seeing a screenshot of where it was. It had snowed that morning. Of course, wrestling's in the winter season.
Yeah.
It had snowed. I had wrecked on my way down. My Jeep done 3 spins right in the middle of the road, and I slid off the road. They pulled me out, asked me where I was going. I said, I'm going to the state wrestling. Ain't nobody stopping me, because it was you. I think Corey Spencer was, and I think Corey was, I think that had to be 05 or 06, 07, somewhere in that neighborhood, because Corey was still on the team. A couple other wrestlers that I knew wanted to go down and watch. Sean Clark had a couple guys that I knew that I wanted to go watch. So I was like, even though I wrecked, I was all right. My vehicle was all right. Ain't nobody stopping me.
Yeah.
But let's go down to 2011 and check it out. Now, it doesn't have your record on the bracket. Do you remember by chance?
Yeah, I think it was actually 53 and 2.
53 and 2. That's a pretty good record. And I know, Coach Matney took you guys, Tennessee, Ohio, West Virginia. Very rarely does Johnson wrestle in Kentucky up until like maybe first meet of the season after football practice or after football season, and then right before regions is kind of see some people. He likes to keep the team, or he did, I should say, like to keep the guys hid, who's going where, all that kind of stuff. Does any matches outside of like postseason stick out to you?
My 2011.
Yeah, just anything of that nature. If not, it's no big deal. Just.
Yeah, I actually wrestled a guy named Luke Troxel twice.
Luke, yep.
prior, which I didn't see him at the state tournament, but and he actually beat me at regional duels, and then he turned around and beat me again in the regional finals that same year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and
wow.
then so I actually got second at regionals my senior year, which put Luke on the other side of the bracket, and he was a great wrestler.
Yeah.
And he ended up getting beat by a kid from St. X, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Wow. Let's go over your bracket real quick. The first round, you wrestled Cameron McGoy from, I guess that's how you pronounce his name, MCCOIG. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. From Henry Clay. You win that by fall in 1:23 seconds. Second round, you wrestled Shaquille Cox from LaRue County. You win that by fall in 4 minutes and 39 seconds. The quarterfinals, you wrestled Colton Hall from University Heights. That's in Christian County. You win that by a major decision, 15-4. In the semifinals, you're wrestling a Christian County kid, DeCorian Polly. You win that by another 15-4 decision. So you wrestled your quarterfinals and semifinals, 2 kids from the same county, University Heights and Christian County, both by a major decision score, which is pretty rare, I'd have to say. Get to the finals, you're wrestling Cody Harold from Simon Kenton. Had you wrestled Cody before?
No, I had not. I haven't seen Cody.
We're not going to, of course, tell you how the match plays out. Of course, Zach wins, but we're going to let you watch it. Now, it's been a while since you've seen this, correct?
Yeah, I've not seen it since the year that the finals took place.
Okay, so all these years later, and Zach's video was hard to track down, but was able to get a copy of it. And I seen him like a 15-second clip, and him and his mom, and was like, hey, I've got to get with Zach, and he's in town now, so I was able to get with him, and pretty much just want to be able to tell these guys stories. So with that being said, if you have state tournament footage that you're setting on, the finals especially, please reach out to me. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, whatever, however you want to reach out. I just want to be able to get the footage, the finals years that I don't have, so I can add to the collection. Way I can expand the channel, expand meeting with guys like that, because to me the whole point of this is letting these guys watch their video all these years later and just see what they were in school compared to what they are now. If they have kids, I know Zach has kids. We're actually here at a wrestling camp. You might be able to hear them. His kids are here at a wrestling camp, so it gets in the blood, it stays in the blood. And like I've said in other videos, George King has my favorite line so far of the series. Maybe not now, but at one time, Dad could do it.
At one time he could.
And I think you could still probably go if you had to, probably make it on the podium. But we're going to turn the camera around here. We're going to watch the video. Zach, before we do, does anything about the match stick out to you?
My favorite thing about the match was the location. I love the dungeon.
And that's what you kind of led me into it. Is we're at the dungeon. This is the last year at the dungeon. And before we do that, though, you was in the finals in 2010 under the lights. Coming into 2011, coming into the state tournament, what was it? I'm happy to be here, or I'm not leaving Frankfort without a state championship.
Oh, I was definitely there to win. I mean,
right.
I'd been there once the year before, so it was either now or never.
Right.
It's your senior year. You really hope to finish with a win.
Yeah, and of course you've got teammate JJ, 171 pounds in the state finals with you. So your practice partner. The couple videos ago we met with John Dials. 2001, Sean Clark had Derek Mullett, John Dials, and Josh Muncie of course they win state championship, but Josh Muncie and John Dials were practice partners, and they talked about on film and off film how awesome it was for their practice partner to be win their own state championship. So you got you and Jay. I'm sure you guys are cheering for each other. The video doesn't show it, but I can just imagine that you guys were cheering for each other.
Oh yeah.
The being under the lights. We'll talk about this a little bit more, but for people that wasn't there, just kind of give us a few words about what the wrestling under the lights were.
Well, you're definitely the center of the attention.
Oh yeah.
If you like that, and I think it's good to have that at least once in your life.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that year in particular, that was the largest or second largest crowd that Frankfort had ever had at the Dungeon.
I can see that with it being the last year there. I can see a lot of people coming back because you've had so many people under the lights. You've had Miguel Merritt, Joe Carr, Ian Horn, Livingston, George King, Isaac Knable. You've had all these Harrison Courtney, the Merton twins, or the Merton, not twins, but the Merton brothers. You've had all these amazing wrestlers under the lights. That wrestling is kind of a closed-knit community, but it's big. And people out that really don't know wrestling or they're not familiar with how the sport goes, they think, oh, it's just, whatever. But you get there, lights go down, the music's, pumping, the announcer is making it seem, this has a big fight field. This has like a pay-per-view, a big Las Vegas style event going on, and there's nothing to replicate it, is there?
No, and I feel like once you learn the sport, because that probably turns a lot of people away, especially if they're just a bystander. It's just learning the sport, and then once you learn the sport, and then you've got a kid in it or a friend in it or a family member or something, then you're really involved, and it becomes extremely competitive.
Absolutely. That's just what's so amazing about getting this footage, especially all the years from the dungeon, and being able to let these guys see their time in, or I should say under lights, not in the lights, under lights. So enough of us talking. Zach, let's get in the DeLorean and go back to 2011.
Sounds good.
All right, you guys are seeing what we're seeing, Farnham Dungeon Center. And this video has the introductions, the match, and it also has the medal ceremony. So Zach, let's do it, man.
Let's watch it.
Kentucky has a real strong, proud history of wrestling. They have great wrestling schools up in the world. So really a credit to their coaches and their teams up in that region.
Also from Simon Kenton, Cody Harold, 42 and 10, a senior. And his opponent will be out of Johnson Central, another senior, Zach Salyers.
Short handshake,
46 and 2.
there for business.
Coming up will be at 140 pounds, and it will feature yet another wrestler from Simon Kenton. That is Cody Harold, 42 and 10 on the year.
The lights come back on.
Against Zach Salyers from Johnson Central. Two seniors going at it tonight. Salyer comes in with a record of 46 and 2, so both of these wrestlers
46 and 2. That's what the announcers have. But
match of their high school career tonight.
47 and 2.
47 and 2.
Zach Salyers a year ago finished runner-up at 140, and
So off the whistle, you're a senior. You've been doing this basically all your life now. What's your go-to takedown? What we looking to do here?
I wrestled extremely defensive, so if you've seen me take a shot, most of the time it's because it was really there or I was really running out of time. I'm almost always worked off of a failed shot.
Right. Now, can you hear the crowd? Can you hear Coach Mackney or the fan section cheering for you? Or
yeah, I could hear our crowd. I could hear every word that Coach said.
What's he saying to you here? I mean, I know it's been all these years later, but I mean, just general coaching. You remember what he's saying to you?
Probably the circle, stay in the middle.
Good job, way to go out. Good senior move right there.
Right now, I'd say he's standing up out of his chair.
Yeah. What in the world? I can hear him. So we're a minute in.
1 minute remains in the first period. We're scoreless.
Nothing's really happened.
I tried for some drags. Try to stay upper body.
Simon Kenton in the white at 42 and 10, and Zach Salyer at Johnson Central in the black and yellow at 46 and 2.
I like the singlets you guys have here. Those are just a clean look.
Yeah, I like them.
There we go. There's a shot.
To my left and behind us.
Oh, you're going. There it is. That's good coaching right there.
Picking up now.
Good fundamentals, being able to circle out.
No advantage. They both keep pulling the same moves on each other.
There it is.
There's the takedown.
Got your takedown.
And the first two of this match go to Zach Salyer.
Short on time.
Yep.
Johnson Central.
But you're doing what you're supposed to. You're staying back.
Control. Again, referee, they're in a position where neither one of them is going to do anything. They're just
So he
gonna
calls,
hold each other.
get for a stalemate right there, which is
Referee's position.
acceptable. Oh, got a caution on green.
A quick thanks to the UK healthcare staff over here who's taking care of our athletic trainers here. They've taken all sorts of care of
He's
all these
saying
people
first
all week,
move.
so thanks to
Yep.
them. They're sitting right out
All
here to
right,
my
end of the
left.
period.
I can see Big Jake.
So you're
over
up
there.
2-0.
And we should mention that was a non-requested plug on behalf of UK
Of course,
Healthcare by
you
Adam.
deferred. I'm sure that was automatic.
Hey,
But they were, I'm
He
sure
takes
they
down.
appreciate it because, I
Now,
mean, I'll be the
what's your
first
go-to
one to
breakdown? What we
champion
looking
the
to do
efforts
here?
of, those trainers.
I would try to
Because they have
chop
a
and
great program
catch.
going in Fayette County, and
And it obviously
they are
didn't
top
work.
shelf.
Well, I mean, but was that a decision to let him just cut him and?
Cody Harrell gets
No,
gets an
I was
escape
terrible
right there.
on
Oh.
top.
One,
Yeah,
one,
I didn't.
one,
No,
strikes
I didn't spend a lot of time on top. Neutral is
Good
where I
match
felt the most
between these
comfortable.
two seniors.
And that's Tendai Cherasika talks about that in some of his videos. How he was at home on his feet. He did not want to be top, up down or anything. He wanted to be on his feet the entire
Pull
match.
each other in. You're going to notice there's a lot
Of course,
more
3-time state champion Tendai, by the way. So
weights.
you got to know where you're a senior. Last match, you know where you're comfortable. You know what I mean?
And pull it off.
Let the chips fall where they may sometimes.
Not as, while still being very
Even as
fast.
close as what this match ended up being, I never felt uncomfortable or
very fast.
pushed or rushed at any time during
Really?
the match. Yeah.
Shoot.
And that's something too that so many people say is like it'll be like a 4-2 match or like a really just win a couple points, and people's like, at no time did I feel like I was not in control, even though the score may not indicate it. I just felt like I was just in control the whole time.
Yeah.
And Salyer up still 2-1.
All right, good sprawl.
The action is picked up here in the second.
Really wrestling up top, wrestling that balance. Wanting to
I
pull
guess
that
when you
head.
watch
That's
these
the
matches,
reason
you
that
see a lot of stuff that you could have done
they've got
different.
the hands
I think everybody has said that. That's not ended like with a quick pin or whatever.
How you balance, how you counter that being off balance.
Isaac Knable just because he's like, I don't think this is me wrestling. I think it's somebody else.
Yeah.
Even though Isaac is a 4-time state
These
champion,
kids are
he's like,
so
I just
evenly
can't
matched
believe it.
that they're not, neither one's getting the advantage.
Now, when you guys lock up, were you stronger? Was he stronger? Because you're a whole lot bigger in your arms than I remember in this match. You were huge right here.
I felt a lot stronger. He was fast though.
Reaching for shots, looking for shots. It's tough to hit a shot just reaching like that. You got to get him off balance to pull him in to get him to that point where you need to. There was an opportunity for a shot right there by Zach Sayer and he missed it.
All right,
And
end of
that
the
will mark
period.
the end of the second
You're still
period.
up
A
1
chess
point.
match going on here tonight in this match between Salyer of Johnson Central
Of course,
and
you're
Harold
gonna take down.
Simon Kenton. Very defensive in their wrestling. It looks like to me, Adam, and somebody's going to go for broke air with the championship on the line.
So you're up 1, 2 minutes left to go in your wrestling career. What are we
How they wanna
thinking?
wrestle, what they want to see.
I still felt safe, pretty comfortable.
It's up pretty easy.
I knew I would get an escape because I did feel bigger than him.
Wants to bring it right back to the mat. Keeping control of that tight waist, keeping control in the hips, just keep him down on the mat.
Honestly, what was going through my mind was
Cody needs
if
to-
I can lay
needs to
here
get him down and turn him. He's
on
gonna
bottom
too many times. He's gonna
for
spin
about a
you.
minute and 40 seconds and then leave me 20 seconds to get an escape.
Yeah. And for some,
Cage is moving right
Yeah, I
back.
know the score was messed up.
yeah, they.
It should still be 2-1.
It's what I've got. That's
They've
2-1.
awarded it too soon.
Happened a
Yep.
lot, but you can't
There it
get
is.
There's
Yeah.
an escape. By Cody Harrell.
They never did catch
So
it.
it's 3-2.
I've got it still as
Not updated on
3-1.
Should be 3-1.
four.
Not exactly sure.
Scoreboard people having a rough time tonight.
Not sure if scorekeeper just got mixed up, but nice throw. Nice throw.
Yeah, if it could have been a little bit closer to the
Throw out of
center of
bounds.
the mat,
Dangerous.
they got
Floors
it.
are not
Yeah,
as,
there we go.
Not as
Nope.
Not as forgiving as the mat, that's
No,
for certain.
it's not. That's all right.
And if you were never at the dungeon, the way the mat was is the mat area flowed directly into the seats. Like the floor, there was no like buffer zone. It was a straight on, like the seats come down to the floor.
38 seconds to go in the match.
All right, so I think you got your 4 star right there.
Yeah.
Got you. Gave him a point.
4-2. So
By the scoreboard.
30 seconds to go. in the match.
Really one that needs to watch out because he's been called for stalling. He doesn't want to get called for stalling again. Cody's really working.
There you go. Good job.
Sucks that leg in for you.
Good job. Pull it in. There it is.
And that'll just about ice it for Salyer.
Now, are you peeking at the clock? You just letting the crowd tell you it's about over? What are we doing here?
I remember looking at the clock.
Come up.
There it is. Get up.
And Salyer loves it. The most emotion we've seen tonight.
You love the
That was a long time coming after
Oh,
2
yeah.
knee surgeries and not getting the finish and
Absolutely.
couldn't get my band on.
So excited you can't get your ankle band off. It Velcro's hard sometimes.
Cody Harold to end his senior year.
Oh man, it was an
42-10.
excellent match. Like I said, well deserved.
To Cody Harold for making it
Like I said, 2 knee
to the state
surgeries,
championship
coming up
match
short
against
as a
Salyer.
junior.
Salyer, very familiar with these surroundings, runner-up a year ago at 140. Harold
There
with
it
10
is.
losses, the most losses of any wrestler.
And here on the, you can see Coach Matney running over, which I wish it showed him picking you
I
up.
do too. I've got good pictures of it. That was the best feeling in the world is when he picks you up and he drops you off into all
Right.
your friends and family and
It's like, here, he's yours now. I've put up with him for all these years. He's yours.
I can remember smacking him on the back, telling him thank you.
Really?
Yeah.
That's all, man. That's awesome. You gotta get me the picture so I can put him in here. Now this is, of course, the medal ceremony.
And in this next match, features
There's
one of
something
the
about
state's
something
best,
special
Caleb
about
Urban of Union
being on the
County, a
podium.
senior,
Yeah.
45
Just
and
being
1.
on this
Going
podium,
against Anthony
knowing
Wood of
Kentucky's not classed. It's not public-private split. There's no divisions. It's if you win your weight class, you are the best in the state.
There was just 3 states in the United States that done that. Us and California and one more.
Now,
Actually,
I'll have to look that up. I mean, I have to look because I don't know off the top of my head, but
Sure might
that's,
be Big Sis. I don't know. Former Miss America
That's the
candidate.
guy
I
that
don't
actually
think she
beat
had any wrestling in her
Trucks.
background.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. And then
No.
the guy that I beat in the
Certainly
finals
the Urban brothers
beat
have
him.
done very well.
Luke was Wayne County, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Anthony Wood there out of Pleasure Ridge Park in Louisville. Another Louisville wrestler, another Louisville Northern Kentucky combination that we see. It's definitely a trend that's coming through. Pleasure Ridge Park had a great athletic program in Union County. Of course, we know excellent wrestling, excellent athletic program as well.
Getting your well-deserved. Used to have your state championship medal.
Johnson
These-
Central, 140 pounds.
Get up on top of the, whatever, 8-10 inches higher than the second place, but makes you feel, on top of Mount Everest, man, on top
You
of
do.
the world,
You definitely. I mean,
on top of the world.
It's great. It's a great feeling. I love that they done that much for
Oh yeah.
the kids. Well, and myself at the time, but
See a Woodford County wrestler there in the
And
top
that's-
8. We haven't seen too many of those.
After this goes off, we'll talk this a little bit more. But I mean, you're the center of the wrestling world here in Kentucky when you're on top of this podium. Just an amazing spectacle, and that's something that professional wrestling, like I said earlier, boxing, MMA
Well, first
events.
time visitor to the
It's
state.
it's the more that you embrace the theatrics, the more the kids I think want to be a part of it, because it shows them that it does really mean more. Not to quote the SEC, but it does really mean more for all those, like we're in the locker room here with the wrestling camp today. But it does mean more, all those summer camps, the travel, getting up early, cutting the weight, not being able to enjoy certain family like Christmas or Thanksgiving meals, and you get your whatever minute and a half time under the spotlights on the podium. Hey man, this minute and a half is worth every second I put in, because nobody can ever take it from me.
right.
So you've watched it now, first time in a long time. Anything play out differently than you remember, or anything that
It's a little sloppier than what I remember. It's still not a bad match, I guess.
No, you wrestled good. I mean, you wrestled a lot of senior moves. You can tell you've been there before. Like I've said in other videos, sometimes the best move people have in the state finals is the handshake. They get up under the lights and they freeze. And you didn't freeze. You done what you're supposed to. You didn't seem to be rattled. Like you said, you felt in control the whole time. And now, of course, we have the video. You're going to, of course, get a copy of it where you can have it. Your kids, grandkids, everybody in your family. as soon as I posted there's a great photo you guys are seeing. It's going to be used for the thumbnail of Zach celebrating. Like when as soon as he gets up, you're like kind of flexing there for a second. I posted that, and everybody was like, sharing it and liking it and commenting and all this kind of stuff because everybody remembered, this match. And I guess they know about, being injured, not being able to compete, coming up just a little bit short the year before, and how much of a release that was. So, man, thank you for doing this with me. Any closing thoughts about your wrestling career or anything of that nature? You've been sitting on all these years?
I forgot a lot, but I've not forgot how good it felt to win and what it meant to actually gain something that you worked almost a decade for.
Right.
I had a lot of help and a lot of good friends and a lot of good family. That was as much of a win for my mom and dad and coach as what it was for me, because they put a lot of time into me, and you do, if you want to be good at this sport, it really takes more than just athleticism. I mean, you've got to put the time in, but it's definitely worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. So. And that's something, whether you're just getting into the sport, whether you're middle school, high school, elementary, or if you're a parent, guardian, caretaker with kids getting into the sport, it does take time to get to this level. It does take time. It's a build. The sport of wrestling is growing, and just stay the course. Just stay the course. You're not going to come in your first year and be a state champion, but just stick with it. It worked for our guest here today, Zach, and I'm glad that I was able to get the video. Again, I can't stress to you, please, if you have years that I don't of the state championship finals, please reach out to me, whether it's VHS, digital, or DVD. I have a digital converter. I'll convert them for free. Of course, give you a copy of it. We just want to make sure that the footage is somewhere that's safe and that it can be used. That way we can reach out and talk to other people, because we've got some amazing stories and some amazing guests like Zach here today that's been able to just tell their journey, because wrestling is a sport a lot of times that gets overlooked. Like I've said in so many videos, a name on a banner in a gym, or maybe like a photo in a trophy case, or you look on the KHSAA website and it has like their name, just winning, state champion, in a photo. That really doesn't tell Zach's story. It doesn't tell about 2 knee surgeries. It doesn't tell about starting in 4th grade, 3rd or 4th grade, and coming up short. It just says, Z Salyers, state, Johnson Central win. And there's so much more to it than just that. So that's why I love doing this series. That's all we got with Zach today. Again, thank you for doing this. I really appreciate it. You've been on the wish list for a long time. We're finally able to get together and make it happen. That's all we got for you guys. We'll see you guys on the mats.